Ever felt like your paycheck and your CashNetUSA due date were playing a cruel game of financial chicken? You know, that sinking feeling when you realize payday is still days away, and that due date is looming, threatening to turn your budget upside down? Yeah, me too. Or at least, I've heard that from a lot of you. And let's be real, life throws curveballs. Unexpected expenses, delayed payments, it happens. So, the big question is, can you actually wiggle that due date on CashNetUSA? Is there a magic button you can press, or are you stuck with the date they gave you? That's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to break down the ins and outs of CashNetUSA's due date policies, explore the potential for adjustments, and arm you with the knowledge you need to navigate this tricky situation. Because, let's face it, understanding your options can make a world of difference when you're trying to keep your finances on track. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's level set a bit. CashNetUSA, like many short-term lenders, operates on a specific schedule. These loans are designed for quick financial fixes, and the repayment terms are often relatively short. This means those due dates are pretty crucial for their business model. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're set in stone. The first thing you need to understand is that CashNetUSA, like most financial institutions, values responsible lending. They want you to repay your loan on time. It's in their best interest, and honestly, it's in yours too. Late payments can lead to fees, penalties, and a negative impact on your credit, none of which anyone wants. However, they also understand that life happens. And that's where things get interesting. The possibility of a due date adjustment isn't always clearly advertised, and it often depends on a variety of factors. This is where the detective work begins. So, how do you find out if you're eligible? Well, the most reliable source of information is always CashNetUSA themselves. Don't rely on hearsay or online forums. Go straight to the source. The first step? Contact their customer service. You can typically find their contact information on their website. Look for a phone number, email address, or even a live chat option. When you reach out, be polite and explain your situation clearly. Don't be afraid to be specific about why you're requesting a due date adjustment. Here's a crucial tip. Be prepared to provide documentation. If your reason for needing an adjustment is due to a verifiable issue, like a job loss, medical emergency, or unexpected expense, have those documents ready. This can significantly strengthen your case. Now, let's talk about the factors that might influence their decision. First, your payment history with CashNetUSA matters. If you've consistently made on-time payments in the past, they might be more willing to work with you. A history of responsible borrowing shows them you're committed to repaying your loan. Second, the reason for your request is critical. A legitimate, verifiable hardship is more likely to be considered than a simple request for more time. Be honest and transparent about your situation. Third, the amount of time you're requesting an extension for matters. A few days might be more manageable than a few weeks. Be reasonable and realistic about the extension you need. Fourth, the state you live in can also play a role. Lending regulations vary from state to state, and some states might have specific rules regarding due date adjustments. Now, let's address some common misconceptions. Some people believe that simply asking for an extension will automatically result in approval. That's not always the case. CashNetUSA will review your request on a case-by-case basis. Another misconception is that you can simply change your due date online without contacting customer service. While some lenders might offer this option, it's not a standard feature for CashNetUSA. So, what are your alternatives if a due date adjustment isn't possible? Well, one option is to explore payment plans. Some lenders might offer a structured repayment plan that allows you to pay off your loan in smaller installments over a longer period. Another option is to consider refinancing your loan. This involves taking out a new loan to pay off the existing one. However, be cautious about this option, as it can lead to higher interest rates and fees. And, of course, the best option is to avoid needing a due date adjustment in the first place. This involves careful budgeting and financial planning. Create a realistic budget, track your expenses, and build an emergency fund. These strategies can help you avoid relying on short-term loans in the future. Now, let's talk about the power of proactive communication. If you know you're going to have trouble making a payment, don't wait until the last minute. Contact CashNetUSA as soon as possible. Letting them know in advance shows them you're responsible and committed to repaying your loan. And remember, documentation is your friend. If you have any proof of your hardship, gather it and be prepared to provide it. This can make a significant difference in the outcome of your request. It's also important to understand the consequences of not paying your loan on time. Late fees, penalties, and a negative impact on your credit score are all potential consequences. And in some cases, CashNetUSA might even take legal action to recover the debt. So, to recap, can you get a due date adjustment on CashNetUSA? The answer is, it's possible, but not guaranteed. It depends on a variety of factors, including your payment history, the reason for your request, the amount of time you're requesting, and the state you live in. The key takeaway here is communication. Don't be afraid to contact CashNetUSA's customer service and explain your situation. Be polite, be honest, and be prepared to provide documentation. And remember, responsible financial planning is the best way to avoid these situations in the first place. Create a budget, track your expenses, and build an emergency fund. These strategies can help you stay on top of your finances and avoid relying on short-term loans. Ultimately, understanding your options is crucial. Don't be afraid to ask questions and seek clarification. And always remember, you're not alone in this. Many people face financial challenges, and there are resources available to help. We've covered a lot of ground today, and I hope this information has been helpful. Navigating the world of short-term loans can be tricky, but with the right knowledge and communication, you can make informed decisions and stay on top of your finances. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.